we got recording, and how do you play this slideshow?
Slideshow. Start from beginning. Play from start.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Can everybody see that? Well, you're all muted anyway. I assume that you can. Okay. So we wanted to share a little bit with you tonight.
Tell them that you guys can message me if anybody can't hear or see slides.
Yeah. Post it on the event work. But just what to expect as you build your business and as you're in this for the long haul, as I assume and hope that everyone is, because this isn't a week to week or month to month business. This is a year to year. We're coming up on our 3.5 year mark, and just like with any business, there's a lot of ups and downs. Ups and downs. And we were told, initially when we started this, and we started to research that, if we treated this like a 6-figure business, then that's what we would have. And, so we went out of the gate kind of doing that way. But, and I don't think tonight's topic is necessarily just pertains to network marketing. It's kind of business in general. But there are 2 major obstacles with network marketing. And the one, well, we see them all, really, both of these. And number one is rejections. And that's probably what we get, the most immediate obstacle that we're faced with. But the second one is what we're going to talk about tonight, and that's attrition. And attrition is basically just coaches falling off. It's people giving up, people quitting. And attrition is not a network marketing thing. Attrition happens in every business. Danielle and I were both in the restaurant industry. And, if you've ever worked in the restaurant industry, there is a lot of turnover. They're constantly placing ads in the back of papers or, online, looking for bartenders, looking for servers. You train these people. They're there a month, a couple weeks, 6 months, and then they're gone. And then you're training, so the restaurant business, I think, has an equal amount of attrition, just like network marketing. People fall off. But a good way to look at it is that it's basically a filtering system. You're filtering out the people who aren't going to stick around. You're looking for your lifers. So if you're in a restaurant, you're looking for those people that are going to stick with you for a while and going to work their way up into the restaurant, into management.
Loyal employees.
Yes, you're looking for loyalty. So not everyone can or even should do network marketing. I think it's a great thing to try out. It's definitely a game changer. But the world needs everyone to operate. And us as network marketers, we don't need everyone. We just need the ones to stay. And I think about the story of Amway, and I don't know the exact numbers, but Amway was founded in like 1959, 1958. And founded by 2 guys, and immediately out of the gate, they signed something like 500 coaches. Well, all of 495 left, and they basically built their $1 billion business from those 5 that stuck around, that stayed the course and helped them through that. So if you can imagine, as you do this and think about, the people that are going to stick around, and that's what you're looking for. And it's just a filtering system. It's frustrating. I've had it happen to me where diamonds have left and I took it to heart, and it was, it took the wind out of my sails. It's hard not to, but you just have
close friends
and close friends, and it's just part of business. This is, as I always tell Danielle, it's not show friends, it's show business. It's hard not to take it to heart. But, you have to look at it like a filtering system, and it's kind of like meant to be, so, just a side note too, can you imagine, if we all stay the course and keep building this, Beachbody being, with the network for about 10 years, and Amway being around since 59, can you imagine where we will be if Beachbody or when Beachbody sticks around that long. Because I believe that, with Amway, I don't know too much about the business, but it's more commodities, I feel like, than what Beachbody has to offer. The things that Amway, you can go down to the drugstore to pick up, but what Beachbody offers is a solution to probably one of the world's biggest problems. So just think about that. Think about longevity. Because like I said, this is not a month-to-month business. And, this year for us, I really think is a building year. We listened to a video from Carl the other day. We'll talk about it in a minute. But, and this is a building year. We've had a lot going on with the election and just the shift to on-demand. But just think about your income and your income growth over the last year. And imagine if you only grew, that much over the next 10 years. So if you made $3,000 last year, well, if that doubled, every year for the next 10 years, and that's all you grew. But the model for network marketing, you won't just grow that much. It's very much the snowball effect of this business.
If you're consistent and you're consistently working your business.
Right. I mean,
and that has to be clear, because you can't just sit back and I'm going to kick my feet up and I'm just going to put it on cruise control, because that's when your business stops growing and multiplying.
And you can't do that even as a leader. Even somebody with $1 million business, you cannot coast. You'll get left behind.
If you can't coast in your regular job, it's not like you can go to your regular job and prop your feet up and say, I'm not going to work today because I don't feel like it. So
our CEO, he's not coasting. I mean, he's probably, and just what I know of Carl, he's constantly thinking, constantly working, constantly trying to improve. And that's the nature of this business too. It's changing. The coaches that were killing this business 5 years ago, if they're not changing and adapting, they're not going to stick around. They're going to not have the success that they had in those last 5 years.
And I want to add, the biggest mistake that coaches do is they come in and something works and it works really well, right? For like 3 months. And then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. And then they're like, okay, that doesn't work anymore. Okay. And then they keep trying to do what doesn't work anymore. And then they say, oh, okay, well, I'm not any good at this. And then they quit. And it's like, you have to change that mindset, that you got to realize if you're seeing that something is not working, what are you going to do differently? How are you going to adjust your business? How are you going to grow? Yes, our team has amazing training, but like Chris and I have sought out training from other top coaches. And I have some of my newbie coaches that will message me and be like, hey, I saw this video. I'm like, that video is awesome. Thanks for sharing that with me. And that's it's all about being innovative. Like if you see something's not working for you after you're trying it for, a couple months and you see it's no longer progressing, then what are you going to do differently? And that's what's going to set you apart in a successful coach compared to a coach that just gives up or fails. Because failure will occur. Failure has occurred for both Chris and I, but we have sat and we reevaluated ourselves and we said, okay, what can we do different? And we did it. And when we did it different, then it worked, and it worked again. But maybe something happened again and we had to readjust our business because maybe the market was different. Maybe it was the season was different. Every time around Christmas, I readjust my business because guess what? I don't have a lot of people wanting to invest in being healthy because they're going to Christmas parties, they're going to Thanksgiving. And I could be that coach that just, puts my feet up and says, all right, well, I'm just going to chill out because it's the holiday season and nobody is really thinking about this. I work my ass off the most in November and December, and I do free groups and I reach out to people, and I end up making less money during that, or I shouldn't say less money, I really make about the same, but as far as retail sales, I do decrease during that time. But when January comes, because I work my ass off in November and December, and actually October too, I work the hardest during that time. My January, my February, my March, I built up so much momentum. It's explosive. Every single year for me. This is going to be my fourth New Year's season. And, I think that's.
And that first quarter for us as being in fitness, I mean, it's huge. It's huge for January 1st resolutions. It's huge for spring, summer coming up. And right now, it's the ramp. You're just ramping up for it. Everything that you do, everything that you post, be intentional. And, you're going to be attracting people, and people are going to remember what you've been posting.
They even said on the National Wake Up Call, if you guys listen, they said, right now, you're the person during this time, you're the person showing up, right? You're the person that people are watching on social media, but they're saying, no, not right now, or they're ignoring you right now. Correct? Correct. But come January or February or whenever they decide to make that decision, they're going to be going to you because you're the person that consistently showed up. You're the person they've been sitting there watching, and you're the person they're going to reach out to when they're ready. There's no reason to get defeated because you're not getting immediate gratification and people aren't saying yes right away, because that's crazy. Yeah. Like I get, like I was telling somebody, or I did a post with you guys, I was at Success Club 0 last night, 0. And that's very abnormal for me. I usually get about 50 Success Club points a month. And at this time of the month, I'm usually at about 20 and I'm at 0. So instead of being defeated or discouraged, what did I do? I told Chris, Monday, I'm going to work my tail off and I'm going to message more people than I ever have before. And I did. I got up to almost 100 people messaging them. And then I did it again on Tuesday. How many Success Club points do you guys think I have today? I don't have 100, but I have 4. No. I have 4, and I have about 7 people that have committed now. And I have a lot of great conversations, but it took me putting myself out there and reaching out to people, not waiting for them to come to me. And so, that's what I want to, have you guys do is like, whenever, don't say discouraged. Don't say I'm at a loss or I don't know what to do or, I'm frustrated or I'm discouraged. Well, you can say I'm frustrated because I understand, understand getting frustrated, but you've got to use your, being at 0 or not being where you want to be as fuel and energy to do better. Don't blame. Don't say it's the cost or it's the price or nobody wants to do this, because they do. I've seen it. I've been a coach for over 3 years. I've had a lot of people do this with me, but it takes you getting out of your own comfort zone and getting out of your own way and reaching out to people.
Yeah. And, and as far as the business goes, network marketing is an amazing vehicle for growth, and it's an amazing vehicle for wealth, but it's not going to happen overnight. And, you're not going to get rich at your 9 to 5. But, over time and with effort and busting ass, we have the opportunity, the tools are there, and, like I said, it's just an amazing vehicle.
Well, and one thing that, just to kind of play off what Chris said too is, you're going to go to college for 4 years. All right. Chris went for much longer. He has 2 master's degrees. I have a bachelor's degree. And you're going to come out, you're going to have some debt, and then you're going to go work for a job and you're going to climb the ladder, and the ladder may not climb too far. There is a ceiling for you unless you decide to go back to school or, eventually over several years, you get into a CEO position. But with Beachbody, like, people expect this immediate gratification sometimes. They want to come in and they want to make $1,000 their first month. And when after 3 months, they don't make $1,000 or they don't even make maybe $200 that month, they give up. And yet, it's like if they could only see the effort that they're putting into it and the time, if they would just give it time, the income will grow. But it is a progressive thing. And it may feel slow because in 5 years, maybe you will be a millionaire. Maybe Chris and I will be millionaires. We're already 6-figure earners at this point after 3 years of being coaches. But how long would that have taken us in our professional jobs? Would we have ever reached the point of being 6-figure earner? I wouldn't have, not unless I worked hygiene 7 days a week. Chris being a teacher. I have to be
a principal, and I definitely don't want to do that. So,
So that would be our option is to never have made that, or to spend 3 years busting our ass and building a business that we love, and that we're passionate about, and we feel so good about what we're doing. And now we're to the point where we're earning that income that we would have never earned in our professional jobs.
So again, you just got to learn to embrace it. It's a filtering system. We don't need everybody. We just need the ones who stay. And those are the people that lift you up, that keep you going, that keep you pumped up, the people that get it. And that's our community. That's our team. And that's you guys here on the call. So what do we do about it? This attrition thing, no one wants to join a skin cream or a shake. All right. That period, or a wine, you are selling you, period. And when they know, like, and trust you, they will follow you and do whatever you're doing, period. It's just like celebrities that post a picture of a certain sunglass, and then before you know it, people are asking what those sunglasses are, people are buying those sunglasses. It's just the same. Okay, you are not Shakeology, you are not Beachbody. You are you. You are selling you, period. So, you need to be adding value, and doing that in your own way. Be yourself.
Doesn't always have to be fitness.
Yes.
If you have value to offer with tips of how to manage your kids.
Yeah.
How to fix a car.
DIY stuff, just be you, add value. You're going to be the go-to person. You're going to be the person that somebody comes back to, because of the value that you add. Once you grow a team and you start to establish yourself, keep everything simple, keep it duplicatable, period. There's a lot of fluff out there, and a lot of extras. But when it comes down to it, Hidden Success Club, teaching your team how to build, and just keeping that duplicatable so that, 5 or 6 levels down, people are just doing the same thing, the basics. Work closely with your new coaches, but don't overwhelm them. Guide them, don't push them. For Danielle and I, when we signed up, Brooke and Jason had some training, but we sought out a lot on our own. And I mean, a lot. And we overwhelmed ourselves. But, and that's the kind of people you want. You want somebody that's going to go, and you don't want to spoon feed people, because that's going to burn you out quick. If you've got somebody you got to hold their hand and spoon feed them, it's going to burn you out, because, you're building this one by one, this huge team one by one. And if you've got a handheld hold, for everybody, that's gonna really burn you out big time. So, don't overwhelm people, guide them, don't push them, but look for those people who get it. And, I remember Jason, we would ask Jason a question, and I think
Jason's our upline coach, for people who don't know that.
Yeah.
It's Brooke's husband. And
he, he kind of like, I guess, I don't know, just shifted us to, searching for the answer ourselves.
I would ask him a question. You know what he would do? He'd send me the link to the FAQ. Or he would say, oh, did you look in the FAQ? And I quickly got the hint that he was like, don't ask me, look it up first, and then ask me.
Yeah, don't ask me what you can Google, basically. So.
And it wasn't, and never take offense, like, if I do that to anybody, because that's how I was taught. Yeah. And I never was offended by it. I would just I kind of laughed at Chris, and I was like, I think that's his hint of telling me I need to look for it myself and then ask him.
So, like I said, if they're gonna make it in this business, they'll seek information on their own, and they'll take it by the horns. I was listening to a call from Amy Silverman the other day, and she was like, no one told me to join a cup team. No one told me to do this. No one told me to do that. I just did it. I just went out there and did it, and found it on my own, made it my own, and just, went out kicking ass. And that's why she's a top coach. She just, you have to be a go-getter. So the most important thing I think that you can do for your new people is to get them paid as soon as possible. You need to help them to get their first few people. And I mean, there was many times we would help coaches initially and hop on calls with, our PS coaches to help them to help sign up coaches and stuff like that in the beginning. And you may have to do that.
Which we're still willing to do that. Yeah. And anymore, we have the monthly webinar, which is something
that's a little different. Yeah, we're in a different position now. But I mean, for you guys, if you're not doing a webinar or something, definitely. I mean, even if we still had a coach that wanted us to get on and talk with them, we definitely would. We'd set up time parameters. But, you need to help them to get paid. And the magic number, and this is a study that I was reading in network marketing, to slow or stop attrition is $300 a month. Now, it's up to everybody as far as how soon they can get to that $300. But that's the magic number that they see that, shows them this is a viable business. Okay, I'm making $300 a month. This is a business, but it's not a get rich quick thing, that they must work it. And that $300, I think, shows them that, or at least, that they're paying for their own products. They're seeing that, this is a real business. And, then again, this isn't a get rich quick thing. Because I think, man, it was probably a year and a half ago that we kind of went through a lot of that in Beachbody, where people were posting more about the lifestyle and I don't know, there seemed to be a lot of like wealth things and people were putting off a little more perhaps than they, of the lifestyle that they weren't actually living. But it's not a get rich quick thing. This takes time like anything else. When Danielle used the analogy of being in college, if you take a doctor, how long are they in college where they're not making a dime?
They come out with massive student loans.
And they come out with massive student loans. You have a business where you could earn six figures plus. There is no ceiling, and you only invested pennies to join. Essentially,
$60 a month is your only obligation to be a coach.
Yeah.
And if you're getting Shakeology every month, which hopefully all of you guys on this call are, because you're business building coaches, it only makes sense to be product of the products. And guys, like I've talked to a few people, and even some of them being coaches, I'm hearing some of them have extra Shakeology, and I'm like, this is insane.
How's that possible?
You should not have extra Shakeology if you're being a true product of the product. Because Chris and I we order 2 to 3 boxes a month, and we can hardly keep it in our pantry.
I have to hide my vanilla vegan from Danielle. So,
and people always ask, how do you stay on track? How do you stay motivated? Like, how do you look that way? Well, one thing that I've consistently done, because we do eat poorly from time to time when we do our 20% weeks, but we always do our shakes, and it always helps us stay on track. So I always think that's just like insane. But anyways, to own your own business, you're paying $20 a month.
Yeah.
And you don't know how many Beachbody coaches are super successful that have owned businesses. Bree, one of them, one of our top coaches, one of our leaders, our diamond coaches, she's owned a business before, and she'll even tell you like what you're putting into a business and the stress and the financial money that you're putting in and not getting back is just insane. And for you to own your own fitness business and you pay $16 a month, and then maybe you get your Shakeology, like that's what you're paying to own your own business.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. When Danielle and I signed up, we thought, we were already looking for something to do. We were already into health and fitness, and we thought, well, let's give it a year. Let's go on and see what happens. Maybe we'll make enough to pay a vacation or something like that. And that's what we were looking for. But it turned into so much more. We fell in love with it.
And that's another thing you guys have to do is like, you have to have belief and you have to love what you're doing, and it has to fill your cup.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to somebody the other day that used to be a coach. I've met her on Instagram. She said she didn't do it anymore because like she was just leading with all the wrong emotions. Her emotions were set to, holding rank and finances. And like, if you lead with your heart and what you're passionate about, all of that will fall into place. I promise you. As a 5-star diamond coach in my first business center, 3-star in my second, and I have a third business center, which is really rare in the company, guys, but I am in love with what I do and with Beachbody, and that's what I lead with. And so that's why this becomes such a joy. So you have to lead with your why and like why you love this, because once you lead with the income part of it, and the income part of it doesn't happen fast enough for you, or if you're building your team and you're seeing your coaches are leading with the income part of it, you have to find out their why and like why are they actually doing this, and remind them of why they are here, because they have to be in love with it to stick around, to have that attrition, to be around for the long haul.
And so I remember having this conversation with Danielle. I was like, so what if we give ourselves 1 year, we're all in, we're both buying Shakeology, we're out, a couple grand at the most, to start a business, to at least try. Because if we were talking about maybe doing a food truck or something like that, something crazy, and you talk about risk.
Yeah, that was really scary.
I mean, so we don't know much, or a health food store, we want to do something. And so you talk about a risk and risking $25, $50, $70, $100,000 versus taking a year and trying something different, something weird, you know, for a couple grand. It was just a no-brainer. You know, so I just kind of want to wrap up with, you know, most newbies don't understand the power of leverage in network marketing. And they don't get, you know, belief. And I mean, I'm listening to a lot of things lately with Scotty Hobbs, who's a male coach, and he's doing a program with another male coach. And he said that in his first year, he read 3 books 60 times. And it was, I think, The Magic of Thinking Big and 2 other books in it 60 times each. You know, he would listen to these books at work, and it just became, you know, his belief system. And then what he was saying when he was talking to prospective coaches and stuff like that, it became the words, you know, that was coming out of his mouth with these books that he's read. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer in personal development and learning. And I, you know, I used to listen to the radio in the car before we started all this, but I mean, in the last 3 years, I've given myself an additional education in, you know, the power of personal development. And so I think that, you know, you need to, and it will take a little while for coaches to understand what I mean by leverage. And leverage is, you know, we have an upline, Josh Spencer, who's been a coach for 10 years now. Okay. And he probably hit Success Club 10 or 20 a month, you know, and some months, I guess, probably a little, you know, 10. Okay, we'll say 10. I know he's had some high months, but let's just say 10. Okay, he's a $1 million earner, and he's not. I mean, it's important to hit Success Club 10, but you get what I'm saying. He's
his income isn't brought by retail.
He's not making, you know, his income from retail. That's the power of leverage. Now, again, he can't just let up and coast. Okay, because he still has to support his team and recruit and stuff like that. But again, he's not tied to just retail. That's the power of leverage in network marketing. So, you know, I suggest, you know, PD. I'm gonna stop the share.
Can I add in something
that
was really important? I feel like you left out. All right. So one thing that really hit home with me that I feel like Chris kind of let out on, or maybe didn't highlight enough, is having your 5 people. Mm-hmm. So one of the most important things in network marketing, you guys may think, like, I have a pretty big team, and there's people that's hobby coaches, there's people that's discount coaches, but there's not a whole lot of people that are really in this coaching. And you don't need a whole lot of people going all in. You need 5 people. So what do I mean by 5 people? You need 5 people that are like you, that are determined and disciplined, and they want to grow this as a business, and they have a firm belief in what they are doing, and they are reaching out to people, and they are doing challenge groups, and they're growing their team. And you need 5 of those people. It's not that you need a massive amount of people, because what will grow your team are those 5 people, your 5 lifers. And so my goal, you know, has really been, like, I love bringing all coaches into it and, you know, seeing who runs with this and who doesn't run with this. But the ones who run with this, they lift me up and they bring so much energy into what I'm doing that I really strive to help them as much as I can grow their business, because they bring life to this. They make network marketing fun. And there's going to be coaches that are going to drain the energy out of you until you are down on the ground. And you have to just say, I can't do it anymore. And you support them when you can, but you have to move on. And I don't know how many times I see coaches sit and drag this person that is not all in to coaching, instead of just going and trying to find other people, because they don't want to put in the work that it may take to find other people. They want to take the people that they have and they want to drag them to do something that they don't want to do. And that will drain your energy, and it will cause you to not want to coach yourself. So as a leader, the biggest thing that I can tell you guys is find your 5 people and Stop dragging the people who don't want to do it and move on and take it upon yourself to do the work to find your lifers. Because when you find your lifers, they bring life into you and this business and what you're doing, and you feel good about it. And when you surround yourself with the people who aren't your lifers, and you're like, I have this coach, but they're not really posting, or not really doing this, or not like, and you've done everything to help them, you've got to move on, guys. You've got to move on. If they quit, it's okay. Like Chris said, network marketing is not for everybody. And if you are all in, you don't need to be absorbing all your energy on this person. That network marketing is not for them. You have to find those lifers, those ones that stick around. And Chris, you didn't mention with Amway, you said that how many people they signed?
500.
Did you say that already?
Yeah, I said all.
Oh, I guess I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
And they have 2 people that built the business.
Well, they have 5 people, roughly. You know, that's, don't hold me to those numbers, but it's something to that. And they built a $8 billion, $18 billion business, something crazy.
What you guys don't realize, sorry, I keep interrupting him. I can't help it.
No.
But what you guys don't realize is those 5 people, if they're like you, can you imagine if, you know, I have a huge downline, and if I sign 5 people like me, and I really feel like I have several coaches, not several, but I would say I at least have a handful of coaches that are very similar to me that are going to grow some great businesses. And that is what's going to help grow my income too. But like Chris said, even the coach that Josh Spencer, who's $1 million earner who only hits Success Club 10 some months, he has to continue pushing his business, because what happens is people fall off. That's the attrition thing. People fall off. So if you hit diamond and you're like, okay, I have 8 coaches on this side, 8 coaches on this side, they're all active, emerald here, I'm diamond. Okay, I can kind of chill out for a little while. No, you cannot chill out for a little while, because diamond is just a milestone for one thing. For another thing, you may have somebody that goes inactive the next week, especially if they're a discount, or you may have an emerald coach that falls off. So you're having to constantly, do your part if you want to make this a business. Now, I'm not speaking to the hobby coach. I'm speaking to somebody who's like, okay, I want to grow an income, and like, I want to be able to make this a real business. And I'm not even saying if you want to quit your job, because we know some very successful coaches who haven't quit their job. I mean, our upline coach, Brooke, yes, she left dental hygiene, but her husband, Jason, who's a pediatric dentist, still wants to practice dentistry. No matter where their income goes, he will still be a pediatric dentist because he's passionate about that. Same thing with another upline that we have who's an orthodontist. He has 5 orthodontic practices, but he's $1 million earner with Beachbody. So why is he still doing this? Because he's passionate about his career and he loves it. So it doesn't mean that you can't create an additional income. It would be silly. And if you guys got to read Brooke's post of what Jason's financial advisor told him to get into was network marketing, because network marketing creates this
passive income.
So it's something that you can have when you retire, even if you decide you don't want to leave your job and you love your job, or it's something that can bring you home like it has me.
And so start thinking about your 5, and start looking for your 5. And it may take you 3 years to find your 5, but you got to post. If you want to build a business, okay, you don't want to, then you need to be posting about the business, okay? Because you don't just want to attract people who like to clean eat and people who like to mix things in a blender. You want to attract people who want to learn a business. And I geek out on the business side of this. I love reading statistics and studies, and hearing our CEO speak. And I love the business. I love the marketing of it. So I think you have to post,
The biggest misconception is that people won't post about the business because they're like, well, I don't know enough, or I don't want to, I'm scared to have my own team. Guys, like, we're here to guide you.
Yeah.
You're not going to be alone. We have a training website. It's the bomb. Yeah. We have a team page that can ask all kinds of questions there. We will help you. You're never alone in this.
Yeah.
And so don't be scared to post about the business, and don't think you have to make $1 million. I mean, how we all start from square one,
yeah.
right?
And like I said, even if you only made $3,000 and that doubled over the next 10 years. Well, you know, that's still a lot of money, and the snowball effect of this, you know, but you gotta keep working, you know. And we listened to a call yesterday with our CEO, and, you know, it was great. I re-listened to it today. But man, I mean, it was really, really good.
We love Carl. You guys, if you all don't get to hear him as much because he's in our leader groups and he goes live, but you get to hear him on trips. But guys, our CEO is really awesome.
He's amazing. You know, he this year he basically, you know, he realized that volume is down a little bit, and because of that, you know, because we've done this shift, you know, from an on-demand product where we aren't selling the DVDs quarterly, you know, we have new programs coming out. So we've made this shift, okay, which, you know, we're all seeing a little bit of the effects of volume. You know, our volume's still going up and stuff like that, but it's not as in previous years where you had huge explosive years and stuff like that. But the key thing is, if you think about this, and all those renewals for Beachbody On Demand come January, and then roll down.
I think it came out end of December.
Think about those next year in your downline, all those renewals.
So if you've sold, let's kind of break this down because there's newer coaches on here too. So when we're talking about volume, we're talking about the volume that either you have personal volume of the sales that you presented, you get volume from, right? And that's converted over and you get commission. Or if you have a team, you get volume from what your coaches are buying or what they are selling themselves, okay? So team cycle bonus is done by a ratio of 200 to 100. It's a volume ratio. So the higher the volume, how many times will 200 to 100 go into each other, right? So the higher the volume, the bigger that amounts, because for each time 200 goes into 100, you get $14 as an Emerald Coach or $18 as a Diamond Coach. So once January hits, that'll be a 1-year point for a lot of people who bought Beachbody On Demand a year ago, right? How many of you guys probably sold a ton of Beachbody On Demand, or maybe you bought it yourself, or coaches on your team bought it? So keep in mind, Beachbody On Demand, like when I renew mine in a year, I'm going to be off giving a commission to Brooke, because Beachbody On Demand, the commission goes to the coach that signs you up. Okay, so when I renew my Beachbody On Demand in January, you're going to get a 40% sale, which is about $38. I think it's $38, and that's going to go to Brooke. So I want you guys to think of whenever your customers or your coaches that you have signed up bought Beachbody On Demand, and that time comes around next year, you're going to be getting that commission again. So you're going to be getting $38 a pop every time that somebody buys that. And then that's also going to generate a volume within our downline, which is going to help people team cycle bonus. So we are kind of like the founding coaches of Beachbody On Demand. And it really just hit me when Carl spoke about this yesterday. This is like really huge. Really huge. So this year was a transition year, and he explained that very well, even though, like Chris and I said, our income's going up, and we see our coaches' income going up. But what's really going to affect us is when next year all these Beachbody On Demand members renew. And guys, I really doubt anybody's going to get rid of their Beachbody On Demand, because like my customers use it all the time. All the time. And so not only next year, you're still building your business and you're selling challenge packs and you're selling new Beachbody On Demands, but you're also getting all those renewals happening again.
You know, so Beachbody we had to do this. Okay, we had to make a change. We have to change. We can't just, you know, stick with VHS tapes. We had to go DVD. Okay, then we have to go digital, because everything's digital. Okay, Beachbody had to do this. We had to keep up with the times. Okay, and it's awesome.
And we're the first. We're the only network marketing company that's went digital like this.
Okay, but there was another company, okay, that was out there a few years ago that had a similar product, and everybody in Wall Street freaked out when they did the same thing. They went from I think they went from a $4 billion company to a $1 billion company. Then the following year, an $8 billion company, and it's the basic same thing. They went from an actual tangible product to an on-demand type online service, and they've seen huge exponential growth. So I think we can definitely say that we are the founding coaches, like Danielle said, of this, and things are going to be really, really awesome for us. I think we're on a major upswing, right now.
And so, like some of you coaches, just think about like this year, you are just selling your packages, especially if you're new coaches. But think about next year when you're still selling your packages and you're getting all the renewals.
Yeah. Like I said, year to year. This is a year-to-year business, guys. Yeah. And we ain't going nowhere.
It can be a slow grow depending on you, how hard you work. I will say for me, coming home at a year and a half is probably a rare thing. For some coaches, it's going to take longer. For some coaches, may have taken less. But this is me being super consistent. So if I can give anybody a secret to my business, it's consistency, and it's not allowing people telling me no to bother me. And it's also when I see that I need to adjust my business, I do just that. I adjust it, I make changes, and I continue to grow. And
guys, there's a lot of other network marketers out there. There's a lot of other business. There's a lot of other health. I've seen a few health and fitness MLMs. There's a lot of keto stuff right now going on. We have no competition. We have no competition. We have the best products. We have the best service. We have the best CEO. We have the best guarantee. And, our only competition is McDonald's and Walmart, and the junk Cheesecake Factory. But, it's lethargy, and it's, that's really only our only competition. There's a lot of other MLMs, people have left to do the other, the wine thing and stuff like that. And that's to make a quick buck, because their products and services are front loaded. But guys, this is the real deal. I don't think there's another MLM out there that has to offer what we do.
So, and just to kind of end, guys, because I know we're running kind of long, but the main point of this is like, you're going to see coaches come and go. You're going to get cancellations, especially if you've signed them up as a discount. You're going to see discount coaches go out of inactive and active. And that is all a part of the attrition that Chris was talking about. And the thing is like, it's about continuing to build your business. And anytime I get a coach cancellation show up on my email, I used to be like, oh my God. But now anymore, I'm like, I just remove them from the team page, and that's it. It wasn't for them, and I get over it. And I'm almost kind of thankful sometimes when coaches do it. I don't even try to talk them out of them. I'm just out of it. I'm just like, it isn't for you. I'm glad that I'm no longer, putting my energy into somebody that knew it wasn't for them. I'm going to move on and find the people this is for. So, I think that's how everybody should treat a coach cancellation. It's just part of this. Like, you can't let that get you down when a coach cancellation form comes through, because
you're not gonna close your restaurant because your busboy just quit. So
your server walked out the door.
Yeah, look for some good servers, look for some good bartenders, and let's
loyalty. Look for people who have belief and loyalty.
And that's where adding value and you and people trusting you and sharing you they're gonna follow you.
Your why. If you're looking for somebody that has the same why as you do, whatever your why may be, and sharing that and connecting with people on a different level. Because yes, income is important to show, because otherwise people are like, why are you online? Like, why do you do this all the time? Why do you put that effort into it? Like, you don't get paid it. Like, some people don't think a coach gets paid anything. I talked to a girl the other day. She's like, you do these free groups. I don't even understand how you get paid anything. And I'm like, okay, so maybe she's not seen my post, or I need to be posting more about the income potential. But it all has to intertwine. If you only post about income potential, then who are you going to attract? Somebody who just wants to make a quick buck, right? So I really try to intertwine everything, all my whys. I sit and write a list down of like being home with my kids, or a financial blessing that it is, or how much I love being able to do something with health and fitness that makes me feel good about myself and what I'm doing.
But you got to sprinkle in there how much you bust your ass too, Yeah. So you gotta. It's a fine line, But that's how you're gonna find your five.
So, all right, guys. Do y'all have any questions?
chat thing?
Yeah, click on it. Oh, we got chat. Yep. Bree must have said yep about owning our own business. She knows.
Real talk.
So.
And guys, I mean, like I said, it's just, you know, an amazing thing to be a part of the community. All you guys are great, you know.
And sometimes what I don't see coaches share enough of is the community. And that's why a lot of people are here.
That's what attracted me initially to this. I was like, ooh, this looks like fun.
Yeah. And if you can't make the big trips, go to your local Super Saturdays. Like, well, Martha's on here. Martha's went to Chris Downing's gym because it happens not to be that far away, but she's went there like, what, 2 times already? Maybe 3?
Yeah.
I mean, and just like getting involved and going to the Super Saturday events, or if you have
gotta go to Super Saturdays.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anything local in your community that you can be a part of. You know,
show people that, because everybody wants to be a part of something.
Or if you have your own team, invite your team over and work out together, guys. Like,
I mean, we took our local team to the winery. I think the first
when our team was still small and local, we did a winery event.
And posted about it. It looked like fun, and it was.
And then we've had a Christmas party, and like anytime you have local coaches, like getting together and really showing people what the community of this is about. And it's like, you know, on the National Wake Up Call, they kind of talk about drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's like anytime that you're in anything, if you live in a subdivision, what do? You hang out with the people in your subdivision. If your kids go to sporting events, what do? You hang out with the parents that their kids are also in sporting events. If you're a part of Beachbody, what do? You hang out with the other Beachbody coaches that love fitness and that are trying to do something with their life. Like, it's not a cult. It's about being a part of a community, a part of something. Everybody wants to feel like they belong, you know? And I have some coaches that join me just because they like the community. They don't want to sell a challenge pack. They don't want to run their own challenge group. They don't want to grow a team. They just like to be on our team page and be a part of the community. And that's it. And that's cool.
So I'm going to post about leading our call. So we're going to take a selfie really quick, Danielle.
Oh, all right. Everybody
post
say
about
cheese.
The business. Everybody say cheese.
It's going to be a bad picture.
All right. Good enough. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.